Today we will discuss about atoms. We'll describe how the atom became. So, atom होता क्या है सबसे पहले? In ancient India and Greek philosophers have always wondered about unknown and unseen form of matter. The idea of diversibility of matter was considered long back in India around 500 BC. An Indian philosopher, Maharishi Kanat, he is one of the greatest Indian philosophers. Maharishi Kanat postulated that if we go on dividing matter, we will shall get smaller particles. हम नहीं जानते इस मैटर क्या है कि इस पूरे ब्रह्मांड में, इस पूरे यूनिवर्स में मैटर ही मैटर है, जिससे मैटर के बाद छोटे छोटे एटम्स बनते हैं मैटर से ही. ठीक है, हर जगह मैटर है. हम देख नहीं सकते इसको, वी कांट सी विथ आवर आइज. According to time will come when we will have crossed smallest particles beyond the further division will not possible. And he suggested this particle as a Parmanu. And now हम generally जानते हैं Parmanu, or some people say Parmanu. Okay, that's atom. Once again, another Indian philosopher, Katyayama, elaborated his doctrine and said that this particle normally exists in combined form which gives a various form of matter. Before understand what is atom, we will consider some things which we need to understand. Firstly, okay, हमें एटम समझने से पहले हम कुछ चीज़ों को समझते हैं. पहली बात तो so law of constant proportion. In the compound such water, the ratio of the mass of hydrogen to the mass of oxygen is always 1:8. Whatever the ratio, source of water, if especially British chemist John Dalton provided the basic theory about the nature of matter. Dalton picked up the idea of divisibility of the matter, which was all the just philosophy. He took the name atoms as a given by Greek and said that smallest particles of matter that are atoms. This theory based on the law of chemical combination. Atomic theory provided an explanation for the law of conservation of mass and law of definite proportion. John Dalton was born in poor weaver family. First, we talk about a little bit about John Dalton. Was born in poor weaver family in 1766 in England. He began his career as a teaching at the age of 12. 7 years later, he became a school principal in 1793. Dalton left for Manchester to teach mathematics, physics, and chemistry in college. He spent most of the time there teaching. In 1808, he prescribed his atomic theory, which was turning point in the study of matter. John Dalton. Remember always. According to his theory, Dalton theory, all matter is made of very tiny particles called atom. Atoms are invisible particles which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Atoms of given elements are identical in the mass and chemical properties. Atoms of different elements have different masses and chemical properties. Now understand what is atom. Have you ever observed a building walls from these walls in a room and then collection of rooms to form a building? What is the building block of the huge building? What are about the building blocks? It is the grain of sand. Similarly, the building blocks of all matter are atoms. So the question is, how big are atoms? ठीक है, क्वेश्चन ये है कि एटम कितना बड़ा होता है. हमने मान लिया कि एटम बहुत छोटे छोटे पार्टिकल्स होते हैं, इवन हम देख भी नहीं सकते वो कितना छोटा होता है. बट एटम्स आर वेरी स्मॉल. They are smaller than anything that we can imagine or compare with. More than millions of atoms when would make a layer barely a thick and sheet of paper. It's very small. It's even we can't imagine. This is called atom.